Hi everyone, it's Allie, and today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute COVID themed cards, which looks like a mask on the front, and then when you open it up, it's a simple pop-up card with some COVID related things. I'm attaching 3 different banners so you can use them for different occasions. This one is a thank you card so you can thank any first responders. This one has a birthday banner so you can give it to anybody who's having an upcoming birthday during the quarantine. And the last one is a get well card. I gave it to a nurse that I worked with last week and she absolutely loved it. So hopefully anybody you give this to, I think they're really going to appreciate it. Really quick, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I have a lot of really fun projects coming up. My next one's going to be a graduation gift box / card, so please subscribe and stay tuned for that. But for now, let's go ahead and get started on this project. I've attached the link to the card below, and next we'll go over all the supplies you need. So these are all the supplies you're going to need. Besides the Cricut machine and the regular blade, you're also going to need a scoring tool. So you can use either the scoring wheel or the stylus. And I also used the perforation blade to make the perforations on the toilet paper, but this is completely optional. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. It's just a minor detail, and you can use a score line instead. It's not a big deal. I also use a fine tip pen, and this one is 0.4 millimeters, and it's called Armadillo. It's a gray color, but you can use black too. And of course we're going to need some cardstock paper. I use medium and light cardstock. This project has a lot of layers, so I probably wouldn't use heavy cardstock because it gets really thick with all the folds. And in terms of color, you can choose any color you want, but I wouldn't recommend white because we have some white embellishments, and so if you have a white background, it just doesn't show up as well. And I wouldn't recommend any stripe patterns because I tried it and the folds of the mask get a little lost in the stripes. You're going to need a 12 by 12 piece for the main piece of your card, but all the other pieces you don't need a whole lot, so you can just use scraps for those. If you have textured paper, I would use that. It makes it look really nice, almost like the real thing. You can see here. And next we're going to need some sort of adhesive. So I have a glue dot runner and my very beat up hot glue gun. And then we're also going to need some ribbon. I use 1/16 of an inch ribbon because that's all I had, but I would have preferred it a little bit thicker. So if you have that, go ahead and use 1/8 or even thicker if you like. You can really use anything you have, elastic, string, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to need one tiny little foam dot and a couple of Velcro dots. So after I finished the project, I couldn't get the card to stay closed, and so I found these at Joann's, and they seem to work really well, and I really like them. So just a couple of those. And that's it for the supplies, so let's go ahead and look at the project. So when you click on the link, it's going to take you to Design Space, and this is what the project looks like. There's 3 different banners, so you can just choose the one that you need, and you can delete the rest of them. If you have a perforation blade, you can go ahead and start making the card, but if you don't, then you're going to have to change the perforation lines to score lines. And so all you need to do is click on it and ungroup it, and then you need to detach it, and you're going to need to move the bottom piece out of the way. And I've grouped them together so you only have to do it one time for each piece. You just have to go to the top left and change the line type to score line. And for some reason when you change it to the score line, it looks like the line gets shorter, but when you go to actually make it, it's fine, so don't worry about it. And then you need to reattach it. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the second piece. So ungroup it, detach it, move this out of the way, and then change this to score line and reattach it. And now we can make our card. So I'm going to let you cut the pieces out on your own, and then we'll meet back up and I'll show you how to put it together. So now that we have our pieces cut, we can start putting things together, and we're going to start with the largest piece, which is going to make the main part of the mask. And you can see it here, it has a bunch of score lines. We're going to use these score lines to make the folds of our mask. So we're going to start at the top, and we're going to fold the first line away from us. And then the second line, we're going to bring towards us. And the easiest way to do that is to unfold the first line and then to bring the second line down, just like this. So when you open it back up, you're going to have a nice fold and you can just bring it down just like this. And we're going to repeat the exact same thing with the third, fourth, and fifth line. So the third one goes away from us, the fourth one goes towards us, and the fifth one goes away from us, just like a fan. And I'm really sorry, I don't know what happened. I double scored the lines on the project, but it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to, so you kind of have to work with it a little. I use a bone folder to make nice creases, but if you don't have one, you can use your fingers or a ruler, or you can use the edge of scissors, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you have a nice crease. There we go. And now we're going to close the card up by making our last fold, which is going to be towards us, just like this. And now it looks like a mask. And so I'm just going to open it back up and make one more crease here. So next we can fold the piece that we're going to glue to the back of the mask. And it's just one fold, so it doesn't matter which way you fold it. I'm just going to do it like this. And now we are finished with all the folding and we can start gluing everything together. Now that the mask is folded, we need to glue everything together. And all we're going to do is unfold the flaps and we're going to put glue underneath. So we're going to unfold it here and put a strip of glue along the edge. And you actually want to put the glue towards the inner side. If you put glue along the outer edge, it makes your card look really flat. So after you do that, you can glue the second fold underneath the same way. And then you're going to flip it around the back side and do the same thing. To pop out our inserts, and the easiest way I found to do is we have it folded like this. Now we want to fold it the other way. This is the easiest way I find to do the pop-up. So I'll grab my bone folder again, a little crease like that, and now when we fold it back over, we can just kind of pop them out like that. And you fold it from the back side, you can just stick your finger in and kind of press it like that. Makes it a nice, even, crisp fold, and it looks a lot better. There we go. And now you have your pop-up tabs. Okay, so now we're going to glue this piece on the back of here, like this. And it's going to look like that. So we'll just put a little glue on this side. Kind of have to be quick with this, otherwise the glue dries really fast and then it gets hard and it doesn't stick. So just do it as fast as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now we have to flip it around and do the bottom side. Same thing. There we go. And now we also want to glue this to the back of this. And there you have it. And now we're ready to glue our other pieces on. The next part is going to involve a little bit of busy work, and what we need to do is glue all of our little pieces together, And we're going to start by putting on our stitches. So there's two pieces. We're going to glue one to the top and one to the bottom of our mask. And you want to reserve about a 1/2 inch or so on either side, because that's where we're going to glue the ribbon on in just a minute. And for this part, I like to use my glue dot runner. I don't use the glue gun unless I have to. It's really good for working with heavy cardstock and materials other than paper, like ribbon and things. But I find that it dries really quickly, and if you make a mistake, it's really hard to undo. And for some reason, I get globs of glue everywhere, and so I just really don't like working with it. With the glue dot runner, it doesn't set right away, and so if you make a mistake, you can just peel it off and start over. The one that I use I really like because it's like rubber cement. You can just rub it away if you mess up. So now we'll just put the bottom piece on our mask. And now you can see it almost looks like a mask. And now that I still have the hot glue gun, I'm gonna go ahead and glue our ribbon on. So let me just grab the ribbon. And we'll just put a little dab of glue on each corner, and we'll tuck the ribbon in underneath. And then we're going to do it for all 4 corners. And the only thing you really need to know about this part is once you do the first corner, you're going to want to make sure to straighten the ribbon out so that it's not all twisted when you do the second corner. And I'm going to fast forward this part because it's not very interesting, and actually the next part of this clip is just me gluing all the little pieces. So I'm going to fast forward it, and then I'll just see you guys in a bit. And now for my favorite part, which is assembling everything together. We're going to glue all of our embellishments onto the card. So I'll just put a little glue on the back of my cough syrup, and we're going to stick it on the left side of the card. And then we're going to do the gloves, and we'll start with the left hand. In the left hand, you can just use regular glue. And you want to slant it a little bit like this. But the right hand, you want to use the foam dot. And the only reason I do this is to make it pop out a little bit more so it doesn't look like they're in the same plane. It just looks nicer this way. But if you don't have it, it's not a big deal either. And when you place the hand on there, you want to make sure that it's not too close to the bottom edge, otherwise you can't open and close your card. So you want to check it. There we go. And now we'll just put the last thing on here, the soap. I tried to look for hand sanitizer, but unfortunately the Cricut website didn't have any hand sanitizer. So this is the closest thing I found. I thought it was pretty cute. So now we need to stick our Velcro dots on, and there's 2 sides. There's a cloth side and a clear side. And you're just going to stick one dot on top of the other dot, and then you'll place it in the top left hand corner of the card, and then you're going to repeat the same thing with the top right hand corner. And you just want to make sure that the dots match up. So you want the top 2 dots to be the same and the bottom 2 dots to be the same. I like to put the clear ones on the top because it looks better this way. And then once you close your card, your dots will stick to the bottom, and then when you open it back up, everything is going to be where it needs to be. And now for the finishing touch, we're just going to glue the birthday banner on. I'm actually going to give my husband credit for this one. When I told him my idea for the card, he said, if you're going to make a COVID card, you have to incorporate toilet paper. And so I thought this was a pretty fun idea, and I stole it. And I'm pretty happy with the results. I thought it turned out pretty cute. He has good ideas now and then. So there we go, our last piece. And boom, we're finished. I think it turned out so cute. I hope you like it. And please don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you guys in a week or two.